We're talking to Kent Bain of Automotive Restorations, who's been in this business 30 more years. And we're in his garage, and we can look around. We can see some of the cars he's working on. That Cadillac is kind of atypical because he's got a lot of nice European stuff here, like 3 Pegasos are among the example. But I did want to ask you, Kent, where are we at with the... It seems that the restoration business and collector cars in general is a very, very healthy business right now. And maybe it reflects the state of the economy or some other stuff, but people are getting a lot of money for collector cars these days. What do you think makes it so healthy?
I think there are 2 primary factors. The first one is that it's a bit of a social phenomenon. From the inception of this business, which is, as you accurately pointed out, well over 30 years ago, to the current day, the number of people interested in this is not just a hobby, but for whatever these vehicles offer in terms of self-satisfaction, working on them and restoring them and driving them and using them at events has grown dramatically. And the supply of product is limited. And you have a growing interest in the social, especially in the Western world, but it's spread well beyond that, combined with the fact that the supply and quantity of collectible cars in good and usable condition is few and getting fewer as the buyer content increases. I think that accounts for an awful lot of what you see in market value changes, and an awful lot of, there's a desire in human beings to possess something that's special, and this is something special, and it's also a device that offers you a great deal of freedom, and it was the key consumer product of the last century.
Yeah, it's artwork you can drive.
That's my phrase.
I think you told me that if you're a hedge fund manager and you don't have a collector car in the garage now, you're really lacking something.
I think the fund's in trouble.
And we also have all these Concours d'Elegance events that are springing up everywhere. So you have a chance to show off your car more.
You do, and that's one aspect of it where it's all polish and finesse and all the little details that make the difference, and that is combined with just the simple use and enjoyment of the car on a Sunday morning to go get the coffee and have a different motoring experience. And it also has a transformative effect. When you drive something of another era, a product as complete as a car is, it envelops you, it increases your physical capacity, it gets you from here to there. You really get a sense of what the period in history of that machine was about in a different way.
What's maybe 1 or 2 cars that you think are like undervalued now that might take off?
Oh, I've watched quite a bit of this. I'm not sure that I would say that. I would say that I don't understand why Lotuses in particular don't have more collectible value. They're rare, they were produced in small numbers, and they are exceptional pieces of engineering and aesthetic from their era. If we talk about Lotuses of the late 50s, early 60s, starting with Lotus 6 and 7 and Elite and into the Elan series, that's one, let's call that one under-recognized and therefore undervalued. I think some of the smaller Italian exotic vehicles are Alfa Romeo in particular, but certainly there's a few things from Fiat, and there are things from all the small Italian manufacturers, many of whom no longer exist, from the 60s, 50s and 60s, that have a great deal of potential.
Thank you, Kent.
You're welcome.